Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this Global Fusion Music and Arts celebration for International Women's Day. And our guest this evening is Jo Girdlestone, who is also releasing her album, Somewhere Before. Congratulations, Jo, on the new album. And maybe we should begin by inviting you to play some of those songs with us, and then there'll be the opportunity maybe to talk about them, some of your writing, and hopefully some time for people to ask questions. How does that sound?
Lovely. Yes, thank you for that kind introduction and thank you for having me. I'm very excited, very thrilled to see lots of familiar smiling faces and yeah, it's been a really wonderful day so far and this is just the icing on the cake. It feels like a good day to mention one of my favourite books, which is called Women Who Run with Wolves. Now, there's it's a very big book, and I'm not pretending that I've read it from cover to cover, but somewhere in those pages there is um, a woman from Mexican myth, and her name is Bone Woman, and La Huesera in Spanish. And La Huesera sings over the bones and she brings back the spirit of one who has left us to live again. And I love the idea of this. It's really helped me with my songwriting. So when I wrote these two songs and when I sing them, I bring Bone Woman into my thoughts. My grandmother's kitchen was a temple by the sea. Like a holy woman, she followed the practice of slow cookery. And the seagulls cry and the waves hit the shore. She took her salt from the air. She took her time and she put her care into everything that she ever cooked up in there. She was cooking up soul food. She was soul cooking, and the taste of the time and the care was in everything that she ever cooked up in there. Ooh. In my grandmother's kitchen, in my grandmother's kitchen, in my grandmother's kitchen. We don't live in straight lines, round and round the earth turns, as sure as the flowers appear in the springtime, as sure as the fire in the sky continues to burn. I'll remember you.
Do you want to tell us about some of the themes that you're really into?
I've got a terrible memory, and there are people that I don't want to forget, and there are places and times that I don't want to forget. So I think, loss and fear of forgetting is probably a motivating force for me to write songs. I've been thinking about it because I want to answer, truthfully, and I've been digging deep because it's a very difficult question to answer, sort of where they come from. I'll be walking around or cycling, and a tune will pop into my head and I'll sing it into my voice memo. But I think the more tricky thing is themes and sort of where do songs come from? Because, they're all different. They're like people, really. They're sort of, and I think the thing that I've come up with really is that when I'm out in the world, just something will come out of nowhere. You don't know when it's going to happen, you don't know where it's going to happen. Something will chime with me, and I'll think, there's a song there. And then I'll think, but what is the song? And then it's the waiting. Then I wait for some story that will help me to explore this initial sort of emotional reaction to something. And that something, it could be something I overhear on a bus. It could be something, that really shocks me, or a tender moment, just a tiny little seed of an idea. And then it's, whether you then find a story within which you can explore the idea. And then you have to ask, is this only interesting to me, or is this possibly something that could be, broader? And is this something that anyone else would find a chime in? Um, but yeah, I mean, to answer the question about themes, definitely, well, grief and loss, and wanting to kind of hold things in my heart, and it's just an aid memoir in a way to craft those memories into songs.
Yes, and I think that comes through, Joe, in the songs. They're very touching. They're sort of, I was interested in you saying they start with you, but then you look at maybe what's universal and does it touch other people. And I think that's a real feature of the songs, actually, a real strength of them, that they can touch others, but kind of have a starting point of your own experience. It feels like maybe a foundation of your work is about how you translate those ideas into something that makes sense for others as well as for you.
Yes, it's nice to feel understood, and it's nice to, I mean, I love listening to other people's original work as well. And it's a very broadening experience to listen to people's poetry. And so, that's why I love these evenings. It's always so enriching. Something really magical about so many different voices, trying to make sense of life, and um, the whole experience that we find ourselves in. You know, it's a wonderful outpouring of different voices, and I value it so much. I think it's wonderful what GFMA do.
Yeah, I agree. I think some of these evenings have been about people trying to articulate their creative process, which is not an easy thing to do
Isn't
at
there?
all, because we don't always know where stuff comes from, but it feels important to say it. And there's something about what you said there that absolutely conveys that, and that comes through in the songs that are really very, very beautiful. When you talked about sort of, I wanted to say, like, it was as if you had moments of inspiration.
You mean the very beginning of,
Yes,
when you get struck with an idea? Yes, definitely. And it's quite the thing is to catch it, isn't it? It's like you can easily forget when you get home if you haven't
yes,
got a pen in your pocket and a piece of paper to scribble down, that in that moment you feel this thing, and to articulate it and to catch it. Well, so many ideas get lost. I'm sure everybody
yes.
feels like you have this brilliant idea and you think, I know I had a brilliant idea this morning, but I can't remember what it
What
was.
was it? Yes, yes.
So many ideas, not
So
many
when you
fun.
say if you've got a pen, do you write words or colours, or how does it come to you?
When I get down to the graft of writing a song, I kind of overwrite. I just write splurge, 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 and then it's about chiseling away and getting rid of words until you're left with, the ones that hopefully, let the song breathe a bit, and and yeah, the words that work with the meter.
That's a real technique, isn't it? To throw it wide and to funnel stuff down, the words that stand out that mean something, then fit to the meter. Do you write the tune and words together?
No, I tend to have like a bank of melody ideas, and then I try and marry them up with, and they're sort of swimming around in my head as well. I sort of try things out, try and marry things. Yeah. No, it's a very mysterious process, and I quite like the mystery of it, if I'm honest as well. I quite like not being able to, be very articulate about it, because, it's quite nice to just let things occur and not really know where they've come from. Yeah, I think the mystery is not something you don't want to sort of overanalyze things sometimes, do you? It's quite nice.
No, but and sometimes when we start to talk about them, things become even more magical because we can't find the words
Mm.
to pin something down that's not, kind of solid. It can be ethereal. Would you like to sing some more? Because I'm sure we'd all love to hear some more.
I'm going to sing a song called These Days now. I have sung, those songs of remembrance, and this is the opposite, just to be contrary. This is a moving on song. Sometimes we hold on to people for too long. And so, I wrote this letting go song. I'm just going to check the tuning. Sorry, I know it's boring, but it's worth it. Okay, These Days. These days, I'm fixing my gaze on the river. I'm changing my ways, I'm going with her. Wheeling and dealing all of my life. I see black, but I swear I see white, and the green fields on the other side. They're so far away, they're so far away, they're so far away, and I like it that way. These days, I'm fixing my gaze on the river. I'm changing my ways, I'm going with her. Pushing and pulling in the back of my mind, looking for something, I'm hoping to find some meaning, and I reach for the sky. It's so far away, it's so far away, it's so far away. And the more I know, the more I know I don't know. The more I know, the more I know I don't know, I don't know. These days, I'm fixing my gaze on the river. I'm changing my ways, I'm going with her. I dream that I see you larger than life. You carry a candle, you're twisting the knife, but you're fading in the morning light. You're so far away, you're so far away, you're so far away, and I like it that way. These days, I'm fixing my gaze on the river. I'm changing my ways, I'm going with her. We've got Mr. Richard Finch Turner over here, who I've got to say again, you know, when I'm playing these songs, I can hear his bass in my head and I miss it, and I want to play more with Richard, and he's featured on the album, and he really lifts the songs. He makes them into much bigger works, and it's wonderful to collaborate, and I've missed that in lockdown a lot. So yes, we've got things to do.
I'm going to sing a final song called Somewhere Before, and this is a song about a shared love of songs, which I guess is why we're all in this room tonight together. And I wrote this for the songwriting community, the very rich songwriting community that I feel very lucky to be part of. So I dedicate this to the Icarus Club and to everybody that supports live music and songwriters and singer-songwriters. I don't know you, I don't know you, I don't know you, but I do. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.